What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and in this video, guys, I'm going to be breaking down our Week 9 matchup in the P4G, the Pokemon 4 Glory. We're going against Bill Standish and the Adelaide Honchkrows, and I apologize for the format of this video. Typically, you guys know I like doing a team builder and a battle separate, but due to time restraints this week, I did unfortunately have to put these all in one. I hope you guys can forgive me, but there will be a time stamp somewhere in the description of this video where you guys can go hop straight to the battle if you guys want to skip the team builder. If you guys want to check out the team builder, let's kick it off right now. My boy Bill, he has one of the most devastating things in League format, which I've been wanting to try for a while now, but have not had the chance to. He has Kyurem Black and Galvantula, which is already huge threat. Well, let's break it down. He's got Kyurem Black, Kartana, Galvantula, Reuniclus, Garbodor, Braviary, Clefable, Chandelure, Claydol, Rhydon, and Mega Sharpedo. Now, some things that I want to point out on his team. I won't take all your guys' time and break down each and every single Pokemon on his team. Kyurem Black, very devastating. Can be run physically, can be run specially, especially with the sticky webs. Is very devastating. Got to be careful for that. Kartana, kind of one-directional, does have access to Defog, pretty much a 4-move slot syndrome with things like Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, Night Slash, Psycho Cuts. Typically runs Scarf, the Beast Boost ability, very terrifying. Galvantula, Compound Eyes, very good stab in Bug and Electric, very fast Electric type Pokemon. Does have access to, like I said, those sticky webs for speed control, something we do have to take into account. Reuniclus, a very scary mon, but if played properly, can be setup fodder for some of our Pokemon. Does have 2 very good abilities in Magic Guard and Regenerator. Garbodor, which I don't see coming, has Stench and Aftermath, good Toxic Spike Setter, good Spike Setter. Pretty kind of one-directional, kind of more of a bulky Pokemon, but with the amount of ground stab that I have, I don't see it coming. The Braviary is something I do see coming because I do have Defog users to activate that Defiant ability that it does have. Has access to Sub Bulk Up, is a Sheer Force user, can be a Scarf user with things like Brave Bird, U-Turn, Double Edge Return, all that fun stuff. Clefable, very bulky mon, somewhat a little bit overrated in Draft League in my opinion. Can be used very well, but also it has to fit the role that it needs. Commonly more of a defensive type Pokemon with rocks, which support Moonblast, Toxic, things like that. Magic Guard and Unaware are 2 very good abilities, both of which I think have potential to come. I would anticipate an Unaware Pokemon, an Unaware Clefable to come, because we have shown promise with setup Pokemon, such as the Meloetta, as well as potential to have a Dragon Dance Zygarde or a Swords Dance Scizor. I would almost guarantee that the Unaware Clefable comes over the Magic Guard. Claydol, Ground Psychic type, Levitate, Spinner, Stealth Rocks. Very straightforward, nothing too intimidating about that. The Rhydon is scary in certain situations, does have access to Dual Dance, does get boosted defense as sinks that Eviolite, also another rock setter. Very powerful Pokemon if played correctly. Mega Sharpedo, of course, very strong. Of course, he does have to Mega Evolve turn 1, so he does not get the speed boost. Still, 105 base speed, something not to sleep on with Strong Jaw and the new Psychic Fangs ability. Does get quite a bit of coverage, so we'll talk about our team right now. First off, we're leading with Discount, the Sneasel. The only reason I want to bring it is to counteract the webs, so it's the only Pokemon on our team that I feel can deal comfortably with a Galvantula lead. Focus Sash, Taunt, Pursuit, Knockoff, and Icicle Crash. Here's how I see this exchange going. If Bill decides to lead off with Galvantula, I will lead Sneasel. If I see he's bringing Galvantula, I will lead Sneasel. There's no doubt in my mind. Get a fast Taunt off. If he goes for a Bug Buzz, so be it. If he goes for those webs, they will not work due to the Taunt. We can also follow up with the Focus Sash and outspeed it and go for something else. I can Taunt, he goes for webs, they fail. I attack with Knockoff or Icicle Crash. He attacks me, brings down to the Sash. I kill with Pursuit. Or I Taunt, he attacks, I attack, he knocks me out. I revenge kill with something like Alakazam, or potentially set up with the Meloetta in the background, provided he does not have the Bug Buzz. Sticky Web, Volt Switch, Thunder, perhaps even Energy Ball for the Swampert. So that's how I anticipate this to go. 44 HP, just to give it the most amount of HP possible. 252 max attack, 212 speed with a Jolly Nature. We are outspeeding the entirety of the team, barring any Choice Scarf users. Next up here, we have Prometheus, Magic Guard, Life Orb, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power Fire, and Psychic. This is not right. Boop. There we go. Okay, so here we go. 76 in HP, 4 defense, 4 special defense, 248 special attack, 176 speed with a timid nature. We have coverage for his entire team. We outspeed his entire team as well, getting the most out of it, rocking those HP Fire 30 IVs. Focus Blast hits the Kyurem Black, HP Fire hits the Kartana, HP Fire hits the Galvantula, Shadow Ball hits the Reuniclus, Psychic hits the Garbodor, Psychic hits the Braviary, Psychic 2-hit KOs, a very defensive playable, which I anticipate again to come. Shadow Ball hits the Chandelure, Shadow Ball hits the Claydol, Psychic hits the Rhydon, and Focus Blast hits the Mega Sharpedo. So I would hope Alakazam to put in a ton of work. Life Orb Magic Guard is a very, very good set to run, especially with such devastating moves on this team. Am I worried about Focus Blast on the Kyurem Black? Yes. Am I going to sweat it? No. Next up here, Meloetta, Siren. We're bringing a setup as Meloetta again. Does have very good potential to set up on something like the Reuniclus, provided he does not have the Unaware Clefable. Sub Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, max HP, 76 special defense, and 180 in speed, giving it a rounded out 146 speed. We are outspeeding Braviary by 1 point, provided he's not a Choice Scarf user. Normal Stab and Shadow Ball are all that we really need. I didn't want Psychic just because of the Mega Sharpedo, so everything else doesn't really appreciate a Hyper Voice. Even after a boost or two, Rhydon really doesn't appreciate it either. This thing sets up all over Uniclus, provided it's not like a max special attack modest Life Orb set with either Focus Blast or Signal Beam. If Galvantula does not have Bug Stab, we set up on that. The Clefable, if he's a standard set, we can set up on that as well. So those are things to note. Next up here, this is kind of my answer to Unaware Clefable, provided he's not the Magic Guard set. We have Roserade here, Black Sludge, Technician ability, Hidden Power Fire, T-Spikes, Shadow Ball, and Giga Drain. Technician does boost the Hidden Power Fire. Doesn't really have much on his team in terms of throwing out status, so I decided to have the boosted HP Fire for the Kartana and the Galvantula as well. Even with the rain, you guys see we bring in the Pelipper. Even in the rain, HP Fire still Oko's Kartana because it just has paper special defenses. But Hidden Power Fire hits the Kyurem for neutral, hits the Kartana, Galvantula super effectively. Shadow Ball hits the Reuniclus. Shadow Ball hits the Garbodor. I don't see him bringing Garbodor in on this thing. Potentially, maybe. Does give me a chance to set up T-Spikes. Garbodor is its only way of removing the T-Spikes outside of hazard removal like Defog or Rapid Spin. However, like I said, I have a lot of ground stab. I don't see Garbodor coming. Sludge Bomb, or I'm sorry, Giga Drain hits the Braviary. I don't think he'll leave Clefable in on this thing because we do have the potential for a Sludge Bomb. Shadow Ball hits the Chandelure. Shadow Ball hits the Claydol. Giga Drain hits the Rhydon and the Mega Sharpedo. Very max HP, 184 speed, timid special attack. We have none invested in there. We have 4 in defense, 68 in special defense. I believe we are also outspeeding Braviary with this as well. Next up here, we do have Bandit Tony Stark, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Defog, and Knockoff. Max attack, a little bit in HP, and damn near max speed with a Jolly Nature. Leaves us outspeeding a max speed timid Clefable in case he brings an offensive set with Flamethrower. We can outspeed this and just go for a U-turn in case he feels comfortable staying in. That means we know he's prepared for the Bullet Punch. However, Bullet Punch is really nice against things like Kyurem Black. We do have to be careful of that Chandelure, but we do have the knockoff for it. He has no reason to bring Flash Fire. He would always bring a Flame Body set, perhaps an Infiltrator set, if he is worried about a sub Calm Mind Meloetta or a substitute variant of any sort. But the knockoff is there. If he does bring the Flame Body, we do have a 30% chance of getting burned. Oh well. Defog is there for the hazard removal of the webs, as well as any rocks he might set, which his rockers are Claydol and Rhydon. Next up here, and last but not least, we have Choice Scarf, Pelipper, Indra with the Drizzle ability, Hurricane, Ice Beam, Scald, and U-Turn, max special attack, 68 in defense, 188 speed, kind of my Kartana check. Leaf Blade still does a lot, but with this defensive investment, we can take one and then Oko with Hurricane. I really like this set. Gives Galvantula a full sense of security. I can go for a Hurricane on that thing. I can go for a Hurricane on the Kartana. Kyurem Black doesn't want a Hurricane. Nothing really wants a Hurricane on his team. Nothing really appreciates a Hurricane on his team. Looking at it now, other than maybe the Rhydon, but even then, special defense, even with the Eevee doesn't want it, and there's always the potential for Ice Beam or a Scald. So nothing too straightforward. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the team in the comment section down below, and I'm going to cut to where we get to the battle, and I'll be right back. All right, we are back here, and this is our battle with Bill and the Adelaide Honchkrows. Looking at his team, the only thing, honestly, that I didn't expect to come was the Garbodor. I really thought that something like the Braviary would have came, and it did. But it is what it is. Like I said in the battle, I will be leading off, or in the team builder, I will be leading off with the Sneasel because I do see that Galvantula. So without further ado, I'm going to go on ahead and play this here for you. Galvantula is a very good lead for my opponents. Things like the Kartana could also be a good lead. Clefable, potentially, depending on what I wanted to lead with. But looking at his team, I can't let that Galvantula just come in. So he's going to lead off with Doitsu, which is the Kartana. And I am like, all right, I'm a Sneasel. I don't want to take a Smart Strike. I don't want to knock this thing off. Hindsight 2020, knockoff would have been really nice here. But I did not go for that. I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go right into my Pelipper because I know A, I can shut this thing down with a Hurricane. B, I can take one Smart Strike. Drizzle goes off. I can take the Sacred Sword, I can take the Smart Strike, whatever he feels like going for. And actually, he decided that I wasn't going to stay in with Sneasel, and he went for the Leaf Blade. So like I said, with that defensive investment, I can take a Leaf Blade from full. He doesn't want to take a Hurricane with this thing. Like I said, even an HP Fire in the rain is still going to OHKO this thing. So he's going to switch in the Garbage Ogre, the Garbodor. So I go for a Hurricane. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just go for a Hurricane. Nothing on his team appreciates it. Like I said, Rhydon didn't come. I get the Confusion, and I do a ton of damage on this thing. Absolute ton of damage on this thing. So I'm going to go for a Hurricane again. Garbodor is gone. And then after that, he has no form of hazard removal. So I can freely set up my Toxic Spikes now, wearing down what I anticipate to be the Magic Guard, or the Unaware Clefable, excuse me. So he's going to go into the Galvantula here. I have no way of preventing him up from setting rocks. And we see he's got the Unnerve ability. I'm going to go for the Hurricane. He did not anticipate me to be Scarfed, so I am going to go for that. Was hoping to knock it out. Does not do enough because it is a neutral hit. It is Electric Bug. Sets up the webs. I'm like, all right, all right. Still faster than this thing. I can keep going in. I can keep wearing this thing down. I'll go for a Hurricane. Pelipper got 2 kills right now. Pelipper's got the 2 kills on there, taking out the Garbodor, taking out the Galvantula. So if I can get Scissor in to defog away these rocks, it'd be very, very nice. Very, very nice. So he goes out into Trishula here, which is the Kyurem Black, and thus begins the reign of Trishula, the Kyurem Black. You really got to find a switch in for this thing. I'm going to hard switch out. Don't want to take a hit. I go on to discount the Sneasel because I know that I can take 1 hit. I want to see what he wants to go for. Unfortunately, after the speed drop, I am not faster than the Kyurem Black. Goes for the Fusion Bolt. Now, don't have an electric immunity that I brought, so Fusion Bolt is going to hurt, obviously bringing us down to that 1 HP. It's pretty much a mind game on myself right now. How am I going to strategically bring in my Scissor to defog against this thing? Goes for the other Fusion Bolt and takes out the Sneasel. Fine, I only brought the Sneasel literally as an answer to the Galvantula. So if Sneasel's gone, that's fine. I can safely bring in something like Scissor to click defog against this thing. I'm going to go back out into Indra here. If he's not Scarfed, I can... Oh, this is why I brought in Indra. Based off that damage, he is Adamant Banded. He's Adamant Banded, which means I do outspeed this thing with the Pelipper. I'm going to go for the Hurricane. Hopefully going to get a Confusion off. Maybe able to do a little bit of chip damage. We see that is roughly a 2-hit KO. I do not get the Confusion. Goes for the Fusion Bolt. So now I know that I can bring in Banded Scissor with the Bullet Punch and knock that bad boy out. So Kyurem Black now taking out 2 of my Mons. Pelipper taking out 2 of his Mons. So it's a really early 4-4 matchup in no one's favor, really. I would say in his favor potentially with that Kyurem Black in there. I am going to get caught in the webs. I know I can take 1 Adamant Banded Fusion Bolt from this thing, so I can go for a defog. He is faster. Goes to that Fusion Bolt. I really thought he would have switched out fearing the Bullet Punch, but it is what it is. I'm going to take that Fusion Bolt. That's going to hurt. That's going to bring me down. I'm going to be able to get rid of the webs. Thank you. Thank you. And I do want to keep Scissor around because that Banded Bullet Punch is going to do good against this. It is going to do Banded U-Turn is going to do good against the Reuniclus, and Banded Bullet Punch is going to do well against the Clefable. So I'm going to go out into Roserade here. And honestly, this is what I should have done to begin with, because if he's Adamant Banded, watch this. Watch this. This was my blunder in not checking all of my calcs ahead of time. He's going to go for that Fusion Bolt, and Ivy is going to eat that. Eat that. So I know I can take another one. Black Sludge, especially bringing that to 3, potentially even a 4-hit KO with the low rolls. He withdraws the Kyurem Black. Okay, cool. Goes on to Doitsu, which is the Kartana here. I do know Kartana does have access to the Psycho Cut if he is bringing it. I will be able to set up Toxic Spikes, so I will be able to poison the Magic Guard on the... I will be able to poison the Clefable and the Reuniclus. If he's Regenerator, we'll find out, and if he's Unaware, we will also find out. So, goes for the Psycho Cut here. I'm like, all right, there was no other way I could switch this thing in. Hidden Power Fire in the Rain still would have killed. I could have taken any other hit but a Psycho Cut, but Psycho Cut was good prep on his part. Does get the Beast Boost, unfortunately. So, Rain's going to end right here, and I'm going to go out into Siren the Meloetta. I was like, I'm thinking he's Scarf Locked at this point into Psycho Cut. Goes for the Leaf Blade. I was like, I know I can take a +1 Psycho Cut. Goes for the Leaf Blade. Very, very unfortunate. He was not Scarf Locked. Turns out he was just a leftover set afterwards, so now I've got a +2 Kartana in front of me. Like, great. What am I going to do? I'm going to go on to Prometheus here because if he's not Scarf Locked, I can outspeed this thing and hit it with an HP Fire. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. He switches out, goes out into Revival Jam, which is going to be that Reuniclus. We are going to see it get poisoned by that Toxic Spike, thankfully. Shadow Ball also would have killed the Kartana at that range too, so, but I do go for the Hidden Power, play it safe, don't make any predictions. Hidden Power Fire going to do a ton of damage to that Reuniclus. We see the leftovers come off, and I'm like, all right, are you Magic Guard or are you Regenerator? And we see the poison damage take place, so I'm like, all right, I can take 1 hit, I can go for a Shadow Ball, I can hurt you in a big way. poison damage to be able to take you out after this. We'll go for the Shadow Ball, just attack it straight out the gate. Shadow Ball does a ton of damage. Unfortunately, does not pick up the KO. He goes for the Psyshock. Blew me away because Shadow Ball would have killed me. Psyshock does do a ton of damage because Alakazam is very frail, but I am still able to live. He gets the leftovers recovery off, and the poison damage is going to bring him back down to about where he was at. I can go for a Psychic here if he wants to regen this thing and send in the Clefable. Clefable will be 2-hit KO'd on entry, but he does not. He leaves it in, sets it off. Alakazam picking up the KO. So now I believe it is a 3-3 match, if I'm not mistaken. I still have Scissor in the back. I believe it's a 3-2 match right now. 2-3 match right now. So he brings in the Clefable, and I'm like, all right, you are so unaware. This is poison, and Psychic is going to hurt. This is going to be awesome. I'm just going to go for Psychic. It's my hardest hitting move. Clefable proving to be the bane of my existence. See, look, pure 2-hit KO right there. Goes for the Cosmic Power. I was like, okay, well, at least you're unaware, so this toxic damage will bring you down in a good amount of range. I can get a crit or something. Leftovers go off, whatever. Clefables do that thing from time to time that they do, and we see no poison damage come out. So I was like, great. You were Magic Guard to begin with. I could have totally brought a setup on and just absolutely blew you back. But I was hoping for the crit on the Psychic here. Fortunately, not going to do it. He's going to Cosmic Power and Soft Boiled, and unfortunately, we're going to kind of see a pattern here. Cosmic Power, Soft Boiled, Stab, and Flamethrower was really all that he needed to get away this match. It would have been really awesome to still have the Meloetta around right now, because Meloetta could have set up all over this thing. All over this thing. And it would have been a great battle because I would have been able to just sit behind a sub and he wouldn't have been able to touch me. So Soft Boileds are going to keep going up. At the time where he would have gone for a Moonblast or gone for a Flamethrower, I didn't want to switch into Scissor. Banded Bullet Punch still does do a lot to his team outside of the Kartana. So I was like, when do I make this play? So I'm hoping for that crit Psychic. I'm hoping for that crit Psychic. But the Cosmic Powers, unfortunately, are a bit much. He goes for the Moonblast here. Like I said, Moonblast, Flamethrower, only really 2 stabs that he needed. Moonblast is going to bring me down, so I was like, oh, if I get the crit Psychic, this would have been awesome. Special attack drops too, so now I'm like, all right, this is fun. He does get that leftover recovery, unfortunately. I'm going to go for another Psychic here. I'm like, please, please. But unfortunately, we do not get it. He goes to the Soft Build. He's keeping his Clefable nice and healthy just in case I do get that crit. He knows that if I get that crit, I can just come through and counter sweep his team with the Alakazam. But unfortunately, Cosmic Power on the Clefable doing very well. Protects him from Psychics and Psyshock. Very good prep on Bill's part. He's going to go for the Moonblast here and obviously knock out my Alakazam. I believe he's a +2 right now, defense and special defense on the Clefable. So even Banded Bullet Punch from Scissor isn't going to do a bunch unless I just get like triple crit back to back to back on the Kyurem, the Clefable, and the Kartana. This is unfortunately GG, but very well played on Bill's part. Like I said, the webs into the Kyurem, also the setup Clefable right there at the end, did do very well against my team. Very, very good prep on him. The Flamethrower comes out into the Scissor, and that is unfortunately going to be GG for us. We did lose this match 0-3, but we are coming off a win streak into this loss, so it doesn't hit me as hard. We are now, I believe, 4-5. 4-5. I can double check this really quickly as I stall in the recording. I believe something along these lines. We are now 4-5 -1, so not too bad. We do go up against next week, week 10, against the Canton Ursa Rings. Hopefully going to pick up that W, putting us back on that win streak in the road to playoffs. Hopefully you guys are excited. If you guys did enjoy this battle, be sure to leave a like on the video. Your guys' support is always greatly appreciated. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe so you do not miss out on more Pokemon Sun and Moon content. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to you all soon. Later.